This is the push algorithm. So let's trace this algorithm step by step. So once we start with, let us take one stack containing n number of elements. So here it can contain 3 elements. And when the stack is created, top value will be -1, because whenever the stack is empty, top value will be -1. Now let us learn how to insert an element into the stack. Let's follow step number 1. It says, is the value of top is equal to n minus 1? No, it is equal to -1. N is 3 here, not equal to 2. So we directly jump into end of if and we'll proceed with step number 2. It says, increment the value of top. -1 will be incremented to 0. Now top is at location 0. Then step number 3 says, onto the location of top, you insert a new value, that is item. So stack of top is equal to item. For example, the value of item is equal to 10, that is added onto the stack. Location number 0. So top is equal to 0 now. So stack of 0 is equal to 10. So one operation is done. So one value is inserted. If you would like to insert one more value, so we need to repeat the same set of procedures, step number 1 to step number 4. Let's start it again. Step number 1. If top is equal to n minus 1, so what is the value of n? That is 3. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So top is equal to 2. No, top is equal to 0 here. So end of if, we directly go to step number 2. In step number 2, we increment the value of top. So top is equal to top plus 1. 0 plus 1, it becomes 1. So top is at location 1. Now step number 3, stack of top is equal to item. Stack of top, in the sense top is equal to 1. So stack of 1 is equal to item, that is 20. So value of item is equal to 20 now. So stack of 1 is equal to 20. Step number 4, return. So 2 values are added. Can we add further element? Yes, because top has not reached up to the level of n minus 1. Still it is 1. It is not equal to 2. We can add one more element. Step number 1. If top is equal to n minus 1, no, it is equal to 1. It is not equal to n minus 1, that is 2. So we directly go to end of if. Step number 2, it says you increment the value of top. Top is equal to top plus 1. 1 plus 1, it becomes 2. Now stack of top is equal to item. So stack of 2 is equal to item value. Let me take 30. So stack of 2 is equal to 30. Step number 4. As we can see, the stack is full. We cannot insert further element. Let us try to insert one more element. Let me repeat the step number 1. If top is equal to n minus 1. Now top is equal to 2. N minus 1 is also 2. So there is a match between top and n minus 1. So we print the error message that stack is full. So no need to continue with step number 2, 3, 4. So that's why I need to terminate this procedure. That's why I will execute exit operation. So because of the exit, I will come out of the algorithm without continuing with the step number 2, 3, 4. The next onwards, whenever you repeat this procedure, so you will check this as the top value is equal to n minus 1. You are going to print this error message, stack is full and exit. So this is how the push algorithm works. Now let us see how the pop algorithm works. Let us take one stack containing n, 3 number of 3 elements. Okay, let us have this array, have this stack containing 3 elements, starting index value starting from 0 to 2. Okay, so let me have these values. So stack of 2 containing value 30, stack of 1 containing value 20, and stack of 0 containing value 10. Now there will be a variable called as item. Onto that variable we are popping the value. We are removing the value from the. So whenever top value is at 2, 1 and 0, we can remove. But whenever it is lesser than that, top is equal to -1, by that time stack is empty, you cannot remove. You will print this error message. Otherwise, what do? You will remove the element first based on this. Then you will decrement the value of top. Top will be here. You will decrement the value of top and you return. So let us trace this algorithm. Step number 1. Is top is equal to minus 1? No, top is equal to 2. That is not equal to minus 1. I'll go to end of it. I'll go to end of it. Step number 2 says you have to remove the value of top element from the stack and store it in a variable called as items. Let me create that variable and let me remove that value from the stack. The stack of top is given to the variable called as item. So this has been removed. Now what you need to do? You have to decrement the value of top. So top should not be here, top should be here. So top is equal to top minus 1. So this will be decremented to this operation. 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Step number 4, return. So we have removed one item from the stack. We have popped one item from the stack. This operation is called as pop. Let me repeat this. Let me try to remove one more element. I can remove 2 more elements as per this stack is concerned. So let me try that. Step number 1. If top is equal to minus 1, so it is not equal to minus 1. So end of if. Step number 2. Item is equal to stack of top. So to this variable, I am removing this value. Item is equal to stack of top. Step number 3, top has to be decremented. So top is equal to top minus 1. Return. Let me repeat the algorithm again. Let me try to remove one more element. Let me check step number 1. If top is equal to minus 1, no, it is equal to 0. End of if. Directly go to step number 2. Item is equal to stack of top. So to this variable, I am removing this element. So item is equal to stack of top. Step number 3, top is equal to top minus 1. 0 minus 1, it becomes minus 1. Now we can clearly see that the stack is empty. Let me try to do the operation again, pop operation again. Step number 1, is top is equal to minus 1. Yes, it is equal to minus 1. You cannot remove further element. You cannot repeat this procedure. That's why you will send an error message to the user. The stack is empty. Of course, the stack is empty. And you have to skip this operation. That's why you have to come out of the operation. That's why I write exit. Because of the exit. So this is regarding pop operation. Now let us see what are all the operations or applications of stack. Okay, what are all the applications of stack in computer science? As per computer science concerned, what are the applications? Now stack and use. So these operations or applications are known to you, but you're not aware of. You are using stack algorithm or stack data structure for this operation for these applications. Let us see the first application or operation, that is reverse a word. Suppose a word is given A, B, C. How to reverse it? You have to get the help of stack. Let me demonstrate that using this simple animation. So this is a word, or in computer terminology we call it as string, right? So containing letters or values A, B, and C. And this is the word. And let me take this example. Let me take this stack for this example. So what I do is, let me access this value and push it onto the stack. Top is minus 1 as the stack is empty. You increment the value of top. This value. Stack of top is equal to item. Next, you repeat the procedure. You will push another element. You push another element. Originally, the word was ABC. You have to convert it as CBA. Now, start popping the values. First, start popping the value. First, start with this particular letter. That is pop and stored here C. Now B. So this is how you reverse the word. Initially, it was ABC. Now it has been reversed CBA. For reversing, I got the help of stack data structure. Right? So this is the first application. Similarly, undo mechanism. Same animation I can show you, but imagine the same animation I'm doing. For example, you are using MS Word. First, you do typing. Remember, first operation is typing. Number one, take it as typing. At the second operation, you will do bold. All the letters will be bold. And third operation, you will do underline. Okay, underline, and you start pressing the undo key or Control Z. What happens? If you are not using stack, it may be undoing the first operation. So because of stack, it will undo the last operation, which is the last operation we did underline. So that will be done. After that, again, if you press undo key, you will see the mechanism of cancelling the bold. Again, if you press undo key, you will see the whatever the characters are typed, that will be erased. So for this application as well, we are using. Similarly, backtracking. I can give several examples for this backtracking. For example, you are browsing something. You are on one page. Let us take page number 1. You will click something. You will click on some hyperlink. You will go to page number 2. Again, if you click on one more hyperlink there, you will go to page number 3. Remember, first you were in page number 1. Later, because of the click, you are in page number 2. Now you are in page number 3. There is a back button in browser. If you click that, where do you go? From page number 3, where do you go? You will go back to page number 2. Again, if you click back button, you will go back to page number 1. So whenever you open any page, the address of that page is stored in a stack. First, initially, the address of the first page is stored, followed by the second page, followed by the third page. Right? If you click a back button, the third page will be vanished. You'll see the second page because that is on the top. Again, if you press back, it will be on the first page. There is one more application, conversion of decimal number into binary. The operation is known to you. Be something like this. Okay. So let me take this number 5. What do? You will divide by 2. So whenever you are converting a decimal value, 5 is a decimal value. You have to convert into binary ones and zeros. What do? You will divide by 2. What is the answer you are going to get? Quotient is 2, remainder is 1. So whenever I get a reminder, what I do is I will push it onto this stack. Fine. Can you divide it again? Yes, because this is not equal to 0. Again, you can divide by 2. What is the answer you are going to get? 1 followed by remainder is 0. Again, I will push it onto the stack. Again, as this is not equal to 0, again I can divide by 2. What is the answer you are going to get? It is not divisible. That's why answer is equal to 0 and remainder is equal to 1. Again, let me. Now I will see the binary value equivalent to this. What is 5 decimal 10 base 10 base 10 is equal to, start popping the value. You pop this value 1 followed by this 0 followed by this. So this is how you need to convert decimal value into binary. You are getting the help of. Once again, this is one more application of. Similarly, there are a few more applications. We can convert infix expression into prefix and postfix. You know what do you mean by expression? The combination of operator and operand. A plus B will be an operator. Wherein A and B are operands, plus is an operator. You see the placement of operator here. Operator is placed between two operands, A plus B. This operation or this expression will be called as infix expression. You need to learn this as well. What is expression? The combination of operator and operand. What is infix? If the operator lies between two operands. For example, A plus B. plus lies between A and B. So this sort of expression is called as infix expression. What is prefix expression? If operator is preceded by the operands, your operands are A and B, operator has to be preceded. You don't write A plus B, you write plus AB. So such an expression is called as prefix expression. You can convert from infix to prefix. Similarly, postfix. The operator will be followed by the operands. A plus B has to be converted to AB plus. So this sort of expressions are called as postfix. So we can convert from one type of expression to another type of expression. We can convert from infix to prefix, or we can convert from infix to postfix. Or sometimes you are evaluating prefix expression. So that is not so easy to evaluate directly. Again, you have to get the help of application. Again, you have to get the help of stack. Okay. Similarly, there are a few more applications to solve Tower of Hanoi, runtime memory management, quick sort. All these are applications of